You ever see a woman slap a Navy veteran over a parking space, then play the victim 5 minutes later while her husband ends up face first on the pavement? Yeah, that happened. It started in the kind of neighborhood where folks like to pretend they're better than they really are. Manicured lawns, silent driveways, and attitudes thick as molasses. Devin Walker had just pulled into a grocery store lot in Cedar Ridge, North Carolina. Just your average Saturday run. He parked cleanly, signaled like he was taught, and stepped out of his car with that calm, watchful presence, one you only carry after serving 12 years in Special Forces. He didn't notice the white SUV circling behind him until the screech of heels on asphalt cut through the warm spring air. A blonde woman in her late 30s, tight bun, designer sunglasses, rage bubbling beneath her lip gloss, stormed up to him like she owned the parking lot, the store, and maybe even the state. "You saw me waiting for that spot," she barked. Devin didn't flinch. He simply said, "You didn't signal, ma'am. I thought it was open." Wrong answer. That's when she let it rip. Racial slurs, jabs at his military service, mockery that cut deeper than most would guess. "People like you ruin this country," she spat, "pretending to be heroes when you're just government dogs." Now Devin could have said a lot right there. He'd earned his stripes overseas, fought for the right of people like her to speak freely, even if that speech was drenched in ignorance. But he just looked at her. Quietly, steadily, the kind of silence that says more than words ever could. That silence? It pissed her off even more. She shoved him, hard, then punched him, straight across the face. Devin didn't move, didn't raise his hand, didn't respond, and that somehow made her feel powerful. She turned to the gathering crowd and yelled, "He assaulted me! Someone help!" And just like that, the script flipped. Out of nowhere, her husband barreled onto the scene. Big guy, former high school linebacker type trying to relive his glory days in one testosterone-fueled lunge. His name was Craig Monroe. He didn't ask what happened, didn't care, just threw a punch that Devin dodged with almost lazy precision. 2 more punches came, missed completely. Then came the shrieking. The wife, Tina, started clawing at Devin's face, flailing like a soap opera actress mid-meltdown. And Devin? He just pivoted, let her trip over herself, and she hit the pavement with a scream so dramatic it could have won her an Emmy. Now, the parking lot had turned into a live-action spectacle. Phones out, cameras rolling, people watching. You'd think that'd be the moment Craig would pause and rethink his approach. But nope, he went for a third strike. Big mistake. Devin stepped in, just once. One swift, clean move. Craig went down like a sack of bricks, out cold, sprawled across the asphalt, the only thing moving being his chest rising and falling. Tina screamed like she'd witnessed a murder, crawling to her unconscious husband, eyes darting, brain spinning for the next lie. "He tried to kill him," she shrieked. "He assaulted both of us." Someone in the back of the crowd laughed. "Lady, your husband swung like a drunk at a dive bar." But it didn't matter. The police had arrived. 2 officers stepped out, scanning the scene. And guess what they saw? A black man restraining a sobbing white woman, a white man unconscious, and a crowd too stunned to speak. "Sir, step away from her and put your hands where we can see them." Devin complied, slowly, calmly, like he'd done this before. He raised his hands, shoulders relaxed. "I didn't do anything wrong," he said. Tina turned on the waterworks. "He attacked me. He's dangerous." One of the officers moved toward Devin, cuffs out. And just when it looked like this would go down the same tired road, something shifted. From the crowd, a man stepped forward. "I have the whole thing on video." Then another, multiple angles, full audio, Tina screaming slurs, Craig attacking first, Devin staying calm the whole time. The officers paused, processing, realizing, and turned to Tina. "Ma'am, step away from him." That was the crack, the first one in her perfect little porcelain shell. She stuttered, tripped over her excuses, and finally shrieked, "You think you're better than me?" Devin just exhaled, finally letting a smirk tug at the corner of his mouth. "You know what, Tina? I wasn't even going to press charges." She froze. Then he added softly, "But now? Oh, absolutely." Cut to the police station. Tina being walked in, no longer screaming, just quietly sobbing. Craig, too, now awake, dazed, humiliated, with a bruised jaw and ego. Their careers? Over. Craig's construction firm released a statement that afternoon. Due to recent events, Monroe Contracting has severed all ties with Mr. Monroe effective immediately. And Tina? Turns out she was a regional marketing director for a pharmaceutical company. Or used to be. Meanwhile, Devin? He got a new car, courtesy of the $75,000 civil judgment for emotional distress and property damage. The video of the incident had gone viral. Every punch, every lie, every moment of ridiculous entitlement shared across social media like wildfire. And in the comments, people weren't just cheering, they were remembering. This wasn't just about Tina and Craig. This was about every person who'd ever stayed quiet, who'd ever walked away while someone like Tina screamed, knowing the system would back her up. But this time, it didn't. Weeks later, Devin passed by the Monroe's old house. Grass overgrown, porch light flickering, for sale sign leaning crooked in the dirt. Inside, he could hear them arguing, Craig's voice sharp and exhausted, Tina's bitter and blaming. No more makeup, no more power suits, just two people drowning in their own mess. He didn't stop. He didn't even look twice. He just kept walking, knowing full well that their real sentence wasn't jail. It was being remembered. Forever. Now I gotta ask you, what do you think? Did Devin do the right thing by not retaliating until the very end? Should the officers have trusted their instincts or the evidence? And what does this say about how we treat people who don't look or act like us in public spaces? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about justice, entitlement, and what it really means to stand your ground in America.